John Wayne played a cop in 1970 Seattle. He made a disaster movie before disaster movies even existed. Hollywood buried some of his best work, so here's some of his most underrated movies nobody knows about. It's 1909 and Martha McCandle is running a ranch with her sons when a gang of outlaws attacks. Several men are killed and the outlaws kidnap Martha's grandson, so she sends word to her estranged husband, a guy named Jacob, but everyone calls him Big Jake. Wayne plays Big Jake, and when he shows up, he and his sons head out to deliver the ransom. Except Big Jake has zero intention of just handing over the money and walking away. He's going after these guys. Big Jake was the last film Wayne made with Maureen O'Hara. They'd been doing movies together for years, and this was their send-off to westerns. And the thing is, Wayne's playing a role he'd done 1,000,000 times, the semi-loner looking for redemption and vengeance. But somehow he brought something different to it. Critics at the time said it was one of his best performances in recent years, which is saying something because by 1971, Wayne had been making movies for over 40 years. This one's completely different. Wayne plays a former Navy guy named Michael Donovan who's living on a Pacific island, just hanging out, living this carefree life. Then his old war buddy's daughter shows up and everything gets chaotic. Wayne is doing comedy, playing this laid-back character, which is the opposite of everything you think of when you think John Wayne. The movie showcased his comedic timing, which people forget he had. He wasn't just the stoic gunslinger. Fans of his serious roles usually skip right over this one, but it's actually a great example of how versatile Wayne could be when he wanted to. Watch it, seriously, it's worth it. In 1942, Wayne's in a movie called Reef the Wild Wind, playing a sea captain named Jack Stewart. It's set in 1840 off the coast of Florida following marine salvagers dealing with love triangles and schemes. Jack's ship gets wrecked and he gets rescued. Then he's competing for the love of a woman named Loxie while fighting with other captains. Wayne was second billed in this movie, which meant he got to play a much more morally ambiguous character than he usually did. Jack Stewart is shady. People suspect him of wrecking his own ship. He gets jealous, he's out for revenge. He's not the noble hero Wayne would spend most of his career playing. By the end of the movie, Jack proves he's actually selfless, but it costs him his life. Wayne dies in this movie. He gets a hero sacrifice, which elevates his character amongst a stacked cast, but it's one of the few times Wayne didn't ride off into the sunset. Wayne plays a Chicago cop who gets sent to London to bring back an American gangster. It's a fish-out-of-water story, tough American cop dealing with British law enforcement's more restrained approach. The movie didn't become a blockbuster, but it showed Wayne could work in a contemporary setting. His rugged charm translated fine to the 70s, and the contrast between American and British policing added something fresh to the crime genre. It's a fun late-career film that most people have completely forgotten about. The year before Brannigan, Wayne made another cop movie called McHugh. He plays a tough detective in 1970 Seattle seeking revenge for his partner's murder. It's gritty and noir-inspired, set in the streets with corrupt officials and dirty cops. McHugh doesn't follow the rules. He's relentless and determined, and Wayne's playing him in this urban crime setting that feels nothing like the westerns he was known for. The movie was well received when it came out, but Wayne's westerns overshadowed it. People remember him as the cowboy, not the detective, but his performance as McHugh showed he could excel outside of those cowboy roles. In 1954, before Airport or The Poseidon Adventure or any of those disaster movies became a thing, Wayne made The High and the Mighty. It's about a plane flying from Honolulu to San Francisco that runs into serious trouble mid-flight. Wayne plays the first officer trying to land the plane safely. Wayne produced the movie, but he wasn't supposed to star in it. Spencer Tracy was going to play the lead. Tracy dropped out and Wayne had to step in at the last minute because he'd already sunk money into the production. Even though Wayne gets top billing, this is really an ensemble film. He's working with a huge cast and his job is basically to hold the whole thing together while everyone else is losing their minds at 30,000 feet. The movie drags a bit, but Wayne's good in it. He's playing it straight, doing drama, not punching anyone or shooting anyone, just trying to land a dying plane. North to Alaska might be the weirdest John Wayne movie ever made because it's a screwball romantic comedy. It's set during the Nome Gold Rush in 1901. Wayne plays a gold panner named Sam McCord who strikes it rich in the Yukon. His business partner asks him to go to Seattle and bring back his fiancée so they can get married up in Alaska. McCord agrees, goes to Seattle, and finds out the girl already married someone else. So McCord panics and hires this woman named Angel to pretend to be the fiancée. Then, of course, he falls for her himself, which creates this whole mess. The best part of the movie isn't even Wayne, it's this con artist character named Frankie Cannon, played by Ernie Kovacs. Kovacs is trying to scheme his way into their gold operation, and he and Wayne just play off each other perfectly. And Wayne's actually funny in this. He's got good timing, he commits to the physical comedy, and you can tell he's having fun. It makes you wish he'd done more comedies because he's good at it. This one's a World War II movie, but it's not what you'd expect from a John Wayne war film. Wayne plays Captain Dooley, a transport plane pilot whose plane crashes in the wilderness of Newfoundland. The whole movie is just him and his crew trying to survive in the freezing cold while waiting for rescue. Wayne's playing it really restrained here. He's this calm, resourceful leader trying to keep his men alive and keep their spirits up while they're all slowly freezing to death. Island in the Sky is a character study more than an action movie, but it's a good one. It's tense in this slow burn way, but it came out the same year as a bunch of bigger war movies, and it got buried. People who wanted to see John Wayne wanted to see him shooting Nazis, not quietly surviving in the snow, so it never found an audience. Chisum is about the Lincoln County War in New Mexico in 1878, which was a real range war between cattle barons and crooked businessmen. Wayne plays John Chisum, who is an actual historical figure, a cattle baron trying to keep the peace. Meanwhile, some guy named Lawrence Murphy is trying to steal his land using the local sheriff as his private army. Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett show up in the story too because they were involved in the real Lincoln County War. But this isn't really about them, it's about Chisum trying to hold things together while everything's falling apart around him. Wayne was 70 years old when he made this, and you can tell he's not trying to do all the action himself anymore. The younger actors handle most of the fighting and writing, and Wayne just shows up when he needs to. But he's more invested in this performance than in some of his other late-career westerns where he was just phoning it in. It's actually a solid movie, one of Wayne's better later westerns. Rooster Cogburn is the sequel to True Grit, which Wayne won an Oscar for. 5 years later, they brought the character back and paired him with Katharine Hepburn. She plays a preacher's daughter, and the two of them team up to chase down a gang of outlaws. On paper, this should be great. Wayne reprising his Oscar-winning role, working opposite Katharine Hepburn, who's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. And parts of it are fun. Wayne and Hepburn have good chemistry. They're both pros who know how to play off each other. But the movie never quite comes together. It's trying to recapture what made True Grit work, but True Grit had this edge to it that Rooster Cogburn doesn't have. This one's softer, more sentimental. It's got humor and heart, but it doesn't have the bite. Critics weren't impressed. Audiences showed up because it was John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn, but the movie didn't stick with anyone. It's fine. It's watchable. But compared to True Grit, it feels like a retread, and everyone knew it.